When examining the Rutherford model of the atom, we see a familiar system, a dense, positively charged nucleus surrounded by a stable orbiting electron. But under the laws of classical electrodynamics, a charged particle that accelerates, as an electron does in a circle, emits energy. By emitting this energy, the electron loses its orbital velocity and should spiral into the nucleus. Classical physics predicts this collapse occurs in a fraction of a second, meaning matter cannot exist. In 1913, Niels Bohr attempted to resolve this paradox, seeking to reconcile the stable existence of the atom with the emerging concepts of quantum theory. He realized that saving the atom required abandoning the assumption that the microscopic world followed the same physical laws as the macroscopic motion of planets and stars. Bohr found evidence for a new model in the light emitted by hydrogen gas, a phenomenon that classical physics could not explain. If you pass the light from a hydrogen discharge tube through a prism, classical physics predicts a continuous spectrum, a smooth, uninterrupted rainbow of all visible wavelengths. But empirical reality is different. Hydrogen produces a discrete emission spectrum with 4 isolated color bands: red, blue-green, blue-violet, and violet. The question was what these specific, broken bands of light revealed about the internal architecture of the atom. Bohr concluded that these spectral lines were not random. They were the physical manifestation of a quantized atomic structure, where energy is restricted to specific, individual values. Bohr proposed electrons move in stationary circular orbits without emitting radiation, keeping them stable. Each orbit correlates to a fixed energy level identified by the principal quantum number, n. Electrons cannot exist between these quantized orbits. They must occupy one specific level. Establishing n equals 1 as the ground state, Bohr created a minimum energy level an electron cannot fall below, mathematically explaining the atom's stability. Electrons move between levels by absorbing or emitting exact energy. An incoming photon excites an electron to a higher level. Dropping back releases this energy as a photon. A drop from shell 3 to 2 releases a 656 nanometer red photon, matching hydrogen's spectrum. Bohr's calculations perfectly matched observed spectral lines, providing the first structural proof for the behavior of light emitted by atoms. Bohr's framework grouped electrons into shells, labeled n equals 1, 2, 3, and 4. The maximum capacity of each shell is governed by the 2n squared rule. The first shell holds 2 electrons, the second 8, the third 18, and the fourth 32. Electrons populate shells from lowest to highest energy. When a shell reaches maximum capacity, additional electrons must move to the next outward level. This 2n squared rule provided the physical justification for chemical patterns in the periodic table. Despite these successes, the model could not accurately predict the behavior of atoms larger than hydrogen. When applied to multi-electron systems like argon, the model failed. It could not account for the complex screening effects and electrical repulsions that occur between multiple electrons orbiting the same nucleus. The model could not explain spectral fine structure. More precise instruments revealed that Bohr's single lines were actually groups of several closely spaced lines. There was also no explanation for the Zeeman effect, the phenomenon where spectral lines split into multiple components when the atom is placed in an external magnetic field. These discrepancies proved Bohr's model was a transitional step. While it introduced quantization, a fully quantum mechanical model was required to explain reality. The concept of fixed orbits was eventually overturned by Werner Heisenberg and his formulation of the uncertainty principle. Bohr's model assumed that both the position and the momentum of an electron could be known simultaneously. Heisenberg proved that at the quantum scale, measuring one of these values with precision inherently makes the other value more uncertain. Bohr had treated the electron as a particle on a track, but evidence was mounting for wave-particle duality. The electron behaves like a diffuse wave, meaning it does not occupy a single pinpointable location in space. Because the electron's position is inherently limited by this wave nature, the idea of a fixed planet-like orbit became physically impossible to sustain. In the 1920s, Erwin Schrödinger replaced Bohr's model with the modern quantum mechanical model. This model shifted from 2D orbits to 3D orbitals, mathematical probability clouds where an electron is likely to be found. These shapes, such as the spherical s orbital and the dumbbell-shaped p orbital, replaced the circular paths of the Bohr atom. This new framework used 4 quantum numbers, including electron spin, which successfully explained the spectral splitting of the Zeeman effect. Although the orbits were discarded, Bohr's central premise remained. The energy of an atom is still understood as being quantized into discrete levels. Bohr's move into quantization established the framework for modern spectroscopy, quantum theory, and our current understanding of chemical reality.